Jess here, coming at you again from Aquapulse. Hope you're all doing well and doing a bit of exercise when you can. So today I'm going to take you through a class that is designed for seniors, but really anyone who wants a low impact, so slightly slower paced workout. It's going to have mostly resistance training in there, but a little bit of a faster paced stuff that might get your heart rate up. So anyone can really do this workout. If you wanted to make it a little bit more intense, you can just speed it up a little bit, use heavier weight, so it's very adaptable for all ages and abilities. So all the equipment you'll need is if you've got a few little dumbbells or any weights that you can hold in your hand, grab them. I've got dumbbells here, but you can use water bottles, cans, anything like that. And today all the movements I show you can be done completely unweighted as well. So as usual, just make sure if you have any injuries that you have medical clearance to participate, take it at your own pace, and anything you don't feel comfortable doing. We're going to be working in rounds today, so feel free to city up that round or just change it to an exercise that you know you are comfortable with. We're going to be working in 90-second rounds, and what I'll do is I'll show you 3 different ways to perform everything. So unweighted with the dumbbells, and then also seated for those who might have problems standing for long periods of time. So I'll try to cover 3 variations in each block that we do. Okay, let's get started with our warm-up. So we're just going to march on the spot, so moving both the legs and the arms. I find this works better if we go in opposites. So if I raise my right knee, the left arm comes up, working both sides of the body, and we're just trying to move the muscles a little bit, start to heat up the body, raise the heart rate slightly and get ourselves ready for our exercise. Try to get these knees up as high as you can, and we're just warming up, so this pace is fine. If you're a little bit more advanced or you like a challenge, you can move a little bit faster, go into more of a run on the spot, but we're just trying to move these knees, start working the leg muscles, start working the shoulders and the arms to get ready for our workout today. So we'll go for about 20 more seconds in this. We have 4 warm-up exercises. That's it, keep moving those legs, marching on the spot. And 3, 2, 1, good job. We're going to start working the arms a little bit more and also a little bit of the torso with the rotation. So we're going to pop the hands up in a bit of a boxing stance. We are going to be doing some punching in this. What we're going to do is rotate. So try to rotate from the torso, keep your feet planted, and then just a little punch to one side. So rotate and punch. So that punch, other than working on our boxing skills, is making sure that we raise our shoulders, getting these muscles nice and warm, and then we're extending from the elbow to warm up the bicep and tricep. So we'll just twist and punch. Obviously we're not in a boxing class, you don't need to make a very tight fist. We're just focusing on that movement. Each time we twist, we're just putting that arm out. You can also call it a reach rather than a punch. Rotate and move that arm through. Good job. Keep moving. Starts to feel a little bit warm in the center of the body. Rotating the torso from side to side. Working the arms here as well. We'll do 10 more seconds. And 2. And 1. Good stuff. Bit more of a combination warm up here now. We're going to go a swing or a hip hinge. So I might turn to the side to demonstrate this. We're going to go a little bit wider in the stance. And our aim is to basically push our butt back to hinge from the hips. So I want to keep my spine nice and straight. So try not to curl. And we're going to keep warming up the arms by adding a bit of an arm raise in there as well. So hinge the hips back as far as you can. And then up. So the arms are coming down and then up to about chest height. Those of you who are game enough to watch my kettlebell classes and my FX classes might see this looks similar to a kettlebell swing, except we have no kettlebell and we're moving nice and slow. Does the same thing though, works the same muscles, warming up the hips, warming up the glutes. I'm going to turn back to the front so that you can see it from the front. And that's it, nice and steady with this one. Want a little bend in your knee but not too much. Aiming more to work from the hips. And we don't need to raise those arms up too high. Just a gentle shoulder swing. Let's do a few more. So come arms through the legs and then up. Squeeze those glutes at the top. We'll do 1 more. And last warm-up exercise, just some arm crossovers for the shoulders. So the forearms are crossing over each other and then we go nice and wide. Try and get a little bit of a squeeze of the shoulder blades at the back. Keep the arms nice and loose. As they warm up, we can move a little bit faster. There we go. Everything's starting to feel a little bit looser, a bit warm, and we're ready to get into our workout soon. Keep moving these arms. Good stuff. All right, let's get into our workout, everyone. So as I said, 90 seconds rounds. We're just going to be doing a little bit of everything. So it's going to be a bit of lower body, a bit of upper body, and not in any order. We're going to mix up the exercises. If you need your weights, have them handy. We're not going to be on the floor at all, so you probably don't need a mat. If you think you're going to use a chair, have that handy. Any chair is fine. Just probably make sure it has a back that's not too wide. So then when you do things like your rowing movements and things where you need to move your arms backwards, that it's not hitting the backrest. So I'm just going to set my clock, so we're going to do everything for about 90 seconds. Once I demonstrate the exercise, it might be a little bit less. And as I said, 3 variations. If I'm holding dumbbells and you don't want to use the dumbbells, just mimic the movement without the weight. And I'll make sure that I show you in the seat as well. So I'm just going to bump out a shot just to set the clock. You might hear the little dings coming through. All right, so our first exercise is just a little side step with an arm fly. So just stepping out nice and wide, keeping a little bend in the elbows, and flying up the arms, kind of like a bird. That's it. So we don't need to lunge or put too much weight into the legs, just a side step. Still easing into it with our first exercise. Now if we want to be in the seat, you're going to do the same thing. Just step out to the side while you're seated and have those arms go up. That's it. So all the movements I'm going to show you today can very easily be done in the seat. If you need to move your legs, just make sure you're not sitting too far back in the chair. Maybe keep your back off the backrest to give your legs a little bit more room. Halfway there, let's go back to standing for those who are standing. Step out to the side and raise the arms. And if we're holding the weights, all we're doing is mimicking the fly movement with the weights. Now if your weights are a little bit heavy, don't go too high. Take it easy on your shoulders. That's it. And if you're using your weights and you're getting tired, just put them down and keep going without any weight. So you can do any combination that you like. In the 90-second round, you can start seated, standing up, start with weights and then put them down. Whatever you like. We've got less than 10 seconds left. Good stuff. Next one, we're going to do a single arm bent over row. I'm going to show you this one from the side first with the weights. So a bit of a bend in the knee. Hinge the hips back like we did in that swinging warm-up. I'm going to pull the dumbbell up into the middle of the body, one arm at a time. Just keep that nice flat back. Pull the dumbbell all the way up. Pretend you're pulling on a string that's coming up out of the ground. Squeeze the lat muscle, which is the big muscle in your mid-back. No weights. Just do that same movement without the weight. So your palms are facing inward toward each other. Elbows coming back. Seated. You're going to be at the front of your chair, lean slightly forward, not too much, and just pull that arm in, just like you do in the weight standing up. Same thing, pretend you've got some strings coming up out of the ground that you're pulling, and we can do all these exercises seated. Good job. Pull those lats, squeeze them in. Let's go back to our weights for those who are using dumbbells. And it's quite long sets, and like I said, if you're getting tired, just mix it up. If you even have several pairs of weights, you can start heavier and go lighter. This workout is really adaptable for everyone. We've got 15 seconds. That's it. Keep pulling, keep moving those arms, doing those rows. 5 seconds. Good work. All right, so we're going to do a stationary lunge now. This is going to be a little bit different for the people in the chair. I'm going to keep no weight for this one. Taking a split stance. Going to keep our chest nice and upright, and we're just going to bend both knees into a little split lunge and up. So we'll have to do both sides for this one. So I'm starting standing. Now if you're in the chair, it's basically just going to be a single leg press. So get against your backrest now. Raise your leg up. Push the foot away. I know a lot of people who use our gym probably use the leg press in the gym. Think about that machine. We're just doing one leg at a time. So knee in, push out, knee in, push out. It's almost time to change sides, so let's do the other leg. So I'm going to go to my right, I'm going to stay in the chair, knee in, push out. That's it. It's like you're pushing something away with your foot. So So try to keep tension, not a loose kicking movement, keep that foot flexed. And if we're doing the lunge, we're standing. I'll have my right knee forward now, into the lunge. We don't need to go down too low. And this one we'll actually be doing for 2 90-second rounds, so that we end up doing 90 seconds each side. So 15 seconds here. And that's it. If your legs are feeling really strong, you can hold those dumbbells or your weights for this. I'm keeping it body weight today. And 3, 2, 1. We're going to go back to the first side, so we are going to repeat that. The legs have to work hard in these couple of rounds. That's it. Remember, if you're in your chair, we can't do a lunging motion, so we're going to do a leg press. Single leg, bring that knee in as much as you can, and push it out. You're feeling your quads do some hard work here. Let's keep it up. There we go. I'm still on my first leg. I started with my left. 45 seconds each leg. And if we're doing a lunge, you've got your first foot forward, the foot you started on a couple of rounds ago. You can keep the arms at the sides nice and relaxed, or in front of the chest. And 3, 2, 1. Time to change sides. We're halfway through the round. Doing good, everyone. Keep it up. Work those legs. That's because this is a class for seniors. It's not always going to be easy. We are going to push our body a little bit. And if we're in the chair, keep up that leg press, knee in, push out. Doesn't have to be too high. Focus on that pushing movement. That's it. And push, push. I'm going to finish it off in the chair. Even this can be pretty challenging. Just in the chair, pushing the leg out. Start there, and 3, 2, 1. Good. We learn chest press next. I'm going to start with the dumbbells. Tuck the elbows into the sides, and we're just pushing them out, keeping the arms level, standing nice and tall. That's it. You can easily do this seated. It's pretty much the same. Make sure you keep your feet planted. You can even go back a little bit in your chair. This is one of the exercises where I said if your backrest is too wide, your elbows are going to hit it, so maybe go a little bit forward. That's it, and push. And if you've got no weights, look, it's exactly the same movement. Just make sure your hands are facing the right direction if you're not doing the weights. If I'm holding the dumbbells, the palms are facing each other, no weight. They're still facing that way and not this way. Shoulders don't want to move like that. And pushing motion, just with the arms. And you can take it all the way back to no weight and seated. That's completely fine, you're still moving. We've got 30 seconds. That's it, a little bit more with the dumbbells. Showing you a little bit of everything. Hopefully you can pick an option that works for you and get a good workout with whatever equipment you've got, whatever level you're at. A good resistance workout with a little bit of cardio. We do have a tiny bit of cardio coming up next. And 3, 2, 1. Good. We're going to do some modified jumping jacks just with the single leg. So if you remember that side step from before, we did the fly in the warm-up. Same thing, we're just going to try and move a little faster than we did in the warm-up. And now get the arms all the way above the head. So instead of stopping here, all the way above the head, as high as you can. And just try and move those feet a little bit quicker. We're warm now, we've hit the weights a little bit. Try and move that body a little faster. That's it. And we're going to do a 3-in-1 here. We're going to change it to eye raises. So imagine the letter I coming up in a straight line. Got my knees a little bit bent. And I'm slightly forward, not much though. I'm just raising the arms up over the head. You can do this with dumbbells. It's a little bit challenging though because it's a forward motion from the shoulder. So I would recommend you keep this all unweighted. We've got a sort of 3-in-1 round here. We do 30 seconds of each. We're about to change. 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to swap to a Y raise. So we come out and up like the letter Y. A little bit like we were doing in the jumping jack. Just with the shoulders now. So up and out to the side, like a big crescent. Now jumping jacks, our shoulders were slightly pulled back. Here they're more forward. Keep moving those shoulders. This is another double round like the leg one. We're going to go again with the 3 exercises. 3, 2, 1. And the jumping jacks. So get those feet in again. If you're feeling very limber and do want a bit more intensity, feel free to go a standard jumping jack with 2 feet at once. Take it at your own level. I'm doing a single leg today, keeping it a bit lower impact. Halfway there on the jumping jack. That's it. Move those feet. Get the arms up all the way above the head. Good stuff. Move it, move it, move it. And we're going to go to our eye raise. So a little bit of a bend in the knees. Arms straight up. There we go. Shoulder front raise now. This can be a challenging movement. Just raise your shoulders up as much as you can. If you need to stop here, that's fine. We really just want to focus on moving in the frontal direction now. We've already done 2 side movements. And we're going to go back to the side movement next. 3 seconds. Good stuff. And finishing off with the Y raise. Up and overhead. Like the letter Y. Try to touch the fingertips together at the top. That's it. You can keep those knees a little bit bent, or if you're more comfortable standing up straight, you can do that. That's fine. We got 10 seconds. Just going to drop back into that slightly bent knees. And we're going back to the lower body after this. 2 and 1. Alright, clean my dumbbells to the side a little bit so I don't stand on them. We're going to do some squats on our chair. Feel free to hold your dumbbells while you do this. Let's widen up the stance a little bit. Get a little bit of distance from our chair. Hips back. Just touch lightly and stand. So even though we've got our chair there, we don't really want to sit completely onto it, just touch the butt. That's it. Now if you do want to stay in the chair for this, what I'd recommend is you either do a leg extension, just knee in and kicking motion, or you can repeat the leg press movement that we did for the lunge. I'm going to keep squatting. If you do have trouble standing, you can even just give a few of these a go. Just maybe 5 or so throughout the 90 seconds, just to practice that sit-stand movement. That's it. Lightly touch hand up. Try to keep this back nice and straight when we squat. And we're hinging from the hips. The knees will bend on their own. Try not to push the knees forward. If you're doing that, you'll find that you're getting further away from your chair, not closer. You have to move backwards to touch our chair. Don't stick those knees too far forward. 15 seconds. This one's pretty tough. Lightly touch. And up. Squats are a fantastic exercise for everyone. Last one. Good stuff. Back to our dumbbells. We're going to do a bicep curl, shoulder press combo. So we start with the palms forward, dumbbells low, up to our bicep curl. And then we want to do our press. So before we press, we'll turn them in and press. Come back down to the shoulders. Back down. So we're going to count 4 for this. So we count this position as number 1 here. 2, 3, 4. Down to the shoulders, back to number 1. So this is number 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Back to 1 and curl. 2, 3, 4. That's it. Without dumbbells, same thing. Just focus on the flipping of the hands. So palms forward, up, turn them in, facing each other, up into that shoulder press movement. And seated with or without weight. Same thing. Keep that back nice and straight. So the only difference for the seated is we want to make sure that we're not hunching forward in our chair, trying to do our exercise. Nice straight back. If you are struggling to keep your back straight, use the backrest of the chair. This one works quite well because we don't need to pull the shoulders back. We're not going to hit the back of our chair, so feel free to rest your back on the backrest. That's it. Our next exercise doesn't need the weight, so I'm just going to leave them out of my hands. If you've got those weights, keep going. I know your arms are probably getting tired. Alright, bit of a faster exercise now. Just going to do a little bit of running in place. We're going to call this hot feet. So we want to take 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. If you find the little movements on your toes a little bit hard to coordinate, you can just go back to this sort of running on the spot or even the marching from the warm-up. But if you're able to, Be a little bit lighter on these feet, bit of coordination there, a bit of speed. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2 forward, 2 back. And move those arms too. That's it. You can probably hear my feet pitter-pattering here. That's what you want yours to be doing, moving nice and quick. Forward and back. If you've got a bit more space, feel free to go a little bit further forward and back. If I do that, I'm going to run into the camera. I'm going to be running into your lounge room, or wherever you are. That'd be a surprise. Even more of a surprise if I actually came out of the camera. Maybe one day they'll have that technology. Use all the space you've got. I'm just using a little spot here to come forward and back. Still a good challenge to both the cardio and the coordination. This one you might be breathing a little bit heavier. No weights, moving faster. More of a cardio exercise. That's it. Good. 15 seconds. This might be one of the harder ones for you to do for the full 90, considering it's a bit faster. Hopefully you've taken a rest if you've needed it. We got 5 seconds. And done. Good. Now the hinge we did in the warm-up, the one that was sort of like this, with the hands and up. We're going to do the same thing, just narrow the stance a little bit to try and get a little bit deeper into the hinge. We're going to try and fold a little bit lower with the chest, and then come up. No weight, I've got the hands in front of the chest here, just resting. If we want to use a weight, probably just one dumbbell for this. So we're going to treat this a bit more like a mobility exercise, trying to get as low as we can. Push the hips back as far as we can. That's it. So we don't want to move too quick in this one. We have to make a bit of a switch from that fast running in the chair. Really easy to do this one as well. We just want to fold forward and kind of bring our arms back. And then up. That's it. So you can still fold from the hips, get some nice movement even in the chair. And all the way up to straight. Good work. 30 seconds. Back up to the top. Got no weight. Just the hands at the front of the chest. How low can we go? Try to keep these legs straight though. Remember, we're not squatting now, don't bend the knees. Try and push the butt back and keep the back nice and straight. If we've got the weights, you can have one. We're going to have 2. I'm going to grab my 2 because we're going to need them both on the next round. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Great work. We're going to go back into our familiar bent over position. So knees bent slightly and folding over. We're going to do a tricep extension. So I've got the elbows tucked and dumbbells at my sides, and the dumbbells are going to come back and then forward. Like that. It's kind of like a skiing motion. I always say tricep extensions are a little bit like skiing if you've ever done that. So it's an elbow extension movement. I'll pop them down for a second. Here to here, that way. So if I have no weights, just like that. And in the chair, same thing. We definitely want to be a little further forward in the chair for this. Lean forward and back. Good tip if you're doing any of this without weights, point your thumb up towards the roof. It'll help guide your direction. So we'll say thumb up, that's the beginning position. Thumb forward, that's the end position. 40 seconds, let's work those arms harder. If we've got the dumbbells, keep going. Good. This one's really tough. The triceps get tired quickly. They're not a muscle with a lot of endurance, with the weight especially. It is pretty tough. There you got 20 seconds. Well, even my weights are starting to feel heavy. My arms want to drop. Let's keep going. I'm going to pop them down. Next exercise, no weight needed. Keep going, move the arms. 5 seconds. Good work. All right, a little bit of core and balance now. So we're going to try a kick with a twist. Same side, the kick and the twist. So if I go to the left, I'm kicking and twisting. And same with the right. Don't need to kick too high. Just getting a little bit of an imbalance in the body. That's how we train the core, is by usually taking the weight off one side. Now you can do this on the chair. All we want to do is put one foot out and twist, or we can have a little kick while we're in our chair. And that's it. If the kicks are a bit too much to coordinate, just keep the body weight twists going. Keep both feet planted. Or you can sort of alternate. You can work on your kicks on their own. And then the twist. Trying to coordinate. Did the wrong side there. There you go. Both to the same side. and steady, so we're not moving the arms too much. Twisting from the torso. So look what we've got next. Bit of shoulders next. That's it, keep that rotation going. If we're in the chair, out. It's a good test if you're in the chair to try and kick the leg up rather than just stepping out. So if you're in your chair, try to get those legs up. Keep the twisting movement going. We've got a few more exercises, we're almost there. Just a little bit of shoulders and a bit of abdominals to finish off with. 5 seconds here. Good stuff. 2 motions with the shoulders. I'm going to show you with the weight first, but they might be a little bit challenging if your weights are a bit heavy. So shoulders, internal and external rotation. So I've squeezed my shoulder blades together. I come down that way and then up. So basically I'm turning the shoulder through its kind of circular range of motion. Like I said, this can be a little bit tough with the weights. If there's any pain at all or if it's just too heavy, go without weight. This one really does work just as well without weight because it's more focusing on the motion rather than any kind of muscle building, more strengthening the joint. And that's it. And we're going to break our round into 2 here. So as we get to 45, we're going to swap to a in and out fly. So that's basically hands together and then really squeeze those shoulder blades together at the back. And we're going to do each of these for 2 rounds. Just a little bit of shoulder movement to finish off. That's it. 25 more seconds. Good work. Squeeze the shoulder blades at the back. This one you can do with the weights. Let's finish off the round with the weights. We forgot that they're there. Fly in, fly out. So we're just sort of touching the tops of the dumbbells together. They don't need to be too high. You know, the face about at the middle of the body. And 3, 2, 1. Good stuff. We're going to repeat the 2. No weight for the internal, external to start with. Don't forget, if you're in your chair, you're just mimicking my upper body movements while sitting in your chair. Really just try and move the shoulders as much as they can here. Same as in that front raise. If you can only go to there, that's all your shoulders move, that's fine. Let's finish it off a little bit with dumbbells. Down, up. That's it. Almost done for this round, and then we're going to do our fly. And we only have 1 more exercise. 5 seconds here. How many reps can we get? This one's tough with the weights. Okay, we're going to change to our fly in and out. We've got weights, but we're seeing the same movement. I'm opening up the chest here on this fly. It's a combo chest and shoulders exercise. No weights, same thing. Remember, just palms together. Squeeze the shoulder blades. That's it. We've got about 20 seconds. And 1 more exercise. That's it. Squeeze the shoulder blades. We've got a stretch coming up in the cool down where we will need to squeeze those shoulders to stretch them out. So let's get a good squeeze now. 10 seconds. That's it. And 2, 1. Finishing off with a bit of abdominals. We're just going to do a knee tuck crunch. Now if you do have a seat, sit in the seat. If you don't, and you're a bit strong in the abs, you can do this right on the ground, but you might not have got your mat handy, so let's just sit down, feet up, and we're just going to tuck the knees into the chest. So I'm quite parallel here, just raising the knees up. If you want a bit more of an advanced option, you can go straight knees and in, and try to point your toes at the end there. So basically the straighter you are, if you end up in this sort of boat position, you're going to really work the abs. If you're just raising the knees up, just gently putting the toes on the ground. That's your lowest resistance option. Let's mix it up a little bit, maybe do 1 here and 1 here. Yep, that's a fair bit tougher. And we've got 40 seconds. So just pick your option, try and stick with it. It's a challenging exercise to finish with, but we're almost there. Who needs sit-ups? All you need is a chair. Just these knee raises will do it. Let's challenge yourself. Can we do a few with the straight legs? Oh, they're tough. 20 seconds. That's it. Oh, you're going to really feel it in the abs after this. We've worked hard every part of the body. Last 10 seconds. That's it. Pull those knees in. Make sure you're not coming off your chair though. And 5, 3, 2, 1 more in. Good stuff, we are all done. Let's just take a moment to catch our breath. We are going to do some stretching. Let's just rest for a moment. You can do this stretching seated, standing or laying down. I've got my seat here, so I'm going to stay sitting in the chair. Well done everyone. Hope you're feeling good. Some areas of your body might be a little bit sore. Hopefully the stretching will help with that. Hopefully you worked hard. Got a nice little workout there with a variety of exercises. Just a few stretches to finish off. So that fly movement that we were doing at the end there with the weights, we're just going to hold that position. So arms up, squeeze the shoulder blades back. So now instead of aiming to move, we're just aiming to squeeze as much as we can. So pull the shoulders back as far as we can and hold. So this opens up the chest, stretches the back of the shoulder. And we're going to hold it for maybe 30 to 40 seconds. Again, if you're in the chair, don't sit too far back. You'll find if you start to squeeze shoulders, it'll just hit the back of the chair. Pump forward. That's it. Keep holding for a little bit. Whew. I've got my heart rate up. Just those few little simple exercises. We didn't really give you a rest though, so it was hard work. Let's stretch the shoulder and the pec, so across the body, and just overlap the other arm just over the elbow. This one, if you want to relax a bit and go back in the chair, you can. And just try and catch your breath. Nice, slow breath. So the key to that is say how slow can you exhale. So you want to inhale and then try and count your exhale like maybe a 4-second exhale. That will help your breath slow down. Change size. You're following along with as many of our classes as you can. A lot of them, a little bit of equipment will be handy, even if it's just one pair of dumbbells that you can do for all your classes and for a little workout whenever you like. Let's stretch the tricep, so I'm going to place the arm over the shoulder. This might be enough. If you want a bit of a deeper stretch, just grab your elbow, lift it a little, and then press down a touch. Stretching out the back line of the arm. Don't have dumbbells or you can't buy them, any small thing that you can hold in your hand will work well for weights. As I said, water bottles are great, they're thin because you can get a good grip. Cans as well, anything really. Other side for this tricep stretch. Maybe we can get a little bit creative and you've got water bottles but you want to make them heavier, you can put some rocks or some marbles or something in there. Really do have to get creative when we work out at home. Alright, hamstring stretch. This one's nice and easy. We're just going to put one leg out in front of us on the heel, so point the toes, and we're going to lean down toward our thigh. You want to try and keep the leg as straight as possible here. So if it hurts, if you're lacking in flexibility a little bit, keep a soft bend in the knee. But for the best stretch, you want to try and keep it straight. Don't stretch till it hurts though. I'm not very flexible. Sometimes I do hamstring stretches and I need to bend a little bit because it's just too much. Stretching should never hurt. Just try and relax the upper body a little bit. Calm down that breathing. And our final stretch. Other side. Make sure you rehydrate after your workout. Maybe have a little rejuvenating snack, keep your energy back, maybe a little bit of fruit. Nice healthy lunch, whatever's going to be doing this. It's a nice day outside, it's pretty nice today. I don't know when you'll be watching it, but if there's a bit of sun outside, maybe go for a little walk as well to complete your activity for the day with a resistance workout, then a walk. Doesn't get much better than that. Up we come, we'll just roll the shoulders back a few times. And forward. And our workout is complete. Fantastic job everyone. Thanks very much for joining me today wherever you are. Hope you are keeping well. If this video was not live, which I don't believe it is, you'll be able to replay it and do the workout anytime you want. So whenever you feel like a bit of strength training and a bit of cardio in a low impact setting, throw the video on and hopefully I'll see you very soon. Take care.